With Photoshop, you can easily turn a photo into a caricature. The Liquify feature in Photoshop really allows us to do great things in this regard. Our main goal when creating a caricature is to make the person's face fun and exaggerate the features of the face. What does this mean? Enlarging the eyes and mouth, making the nose or ears smaller, lengthening the chin, widening the forehead, making the face larger than the body are important points in caricature making. If you want to make your work on the photo I used in this tutorial, I left the link below. You can access it from there. Or you can edit your own or someone else's photo or any photo you find on the internet. This will be the image I will use. I will need to separate the subject from the background first. I will use the quick selection tool for this. I can make a more detailed selection with the pen tool, but I want to make a quick selection so as not to prolong the tutorial. I select the quick selection tool by clicking on this option in the toolbox on the left and make a selection without including the background. I will not explain the basic selection tutorial, but for example, here it also selected the background. So I press the Alt key on the keyboard. I'm making a selection by pressing the Alt key, which means don't choose these areas. I have made the selection. After I have made the selection, when I press Ctrl J, the selected area will be duplicated. The reason I'm doing this is because the image is too far to the right. After decoupling the selected area in this way, I need to separate the head to caricaturize the image. I select the lasso tool, press Ctrl X so that the head is from the neck, and press Ctrl Shift V so that it pastes in the same place again. As you can see, we have separated the head, we have the body, we have the head, everything is as it should be. Now I'm going to switch both layers to Smart Object. After opening the image with Photoshop and after decoupling it, we need to immediately convert the work we have done to Smart Object, because this is the best way to preserve the originals of that layer and to be able to modify it later. Even if a layer converted to Smart Object is given a filter, we can easily make changes to it later. Big advantage. I hover over the layer and right click and choose Convert to Smart Object. I do the same thing with the head. I center the body like this and make it a little bit smaller. I enlarge the head a little bit and we can even name them. With our head layer selected, I hover over Filter and select Liquify. Liquify can be defined as a tool that helps us to make the photo even more cartoonish because it has tools such as enlarging, reducing, shifting on the face. Liquify is such a window. It is one of the tools that allows us to edit the image. In the latest versions, new additional features have come. As you can see here, we can edit the mouth, eyes, nose and various areas of the head. For example, we can edit the distance between the eyes. We can edit on this, such as positioning or minimization and magnification. Likewise, we can edit the mouth. We can determine the thickness of the lips here. I enlarge eyes and mouth as much as possible to make a woman a little more cartoonish. And I try to make the nose smaller. That's what I want to do right now. We can enlarge the forehead a little bit. We can enlarge the chin. We can enlarge the head. In this way, various edits can be made here. But the edits made here can be a bit limited. Therefore, we will intervene a little more ourselves using the tools here. We can zoom in and out using the pros and cons here. Let's bring it a little closer. What did we say? I said we need to enlarge the eyes. For example, this tool can enlarge the eyes. After selecting the tool, we can use the size value here to determine the area of the brush. I'm enlarging the eyes. I'm enlarging this eye. Let's enlarge the mouth. And let's make the nose smaller here. I'm going to select this tool to make the nose smaller. This is going to do an inward reduction. Let's make this one smaller like this. We can also minimize the dimples here. It already looks like a photo caricature even now. Now I'm going to select the top button and we are going to make some adjustments with that. For example, let's lengthen the chin a little bit downwards. Of course, there's nothing fixed. We are going to edit it however it looks good to your eyes. I think it's enough like this. I think it's pretty good. And now I can leave this page by clicking OK. It is also possible to edit this shape later on. The reason for this is this. We have just converted this layer to smart object, so the Liquify that we added is still here, and when we click on it, we can continue as if we were continuing with the previous edit. This is the beauty of smart objects. I try to emphasize in every tutorial that smart objects should be used. Now, let's come to the neck and body connection here. Let's get a little closer to this part. Again, while the head layer is selected, I click on the mask button here. When I paint anything on the white area here on the image with black color, the visible parts on that image will disappear because I painted black. This is one of the basic features in Photoshop, the masking feature. I choose my brush here. I adjust the size of the brush. This is how we will use masking feature. The places I paint in black color will be erased from the image. If the opacity value is low, increase it to 100%. That's it. Now let's solve this part by taking the head down a little bit. If you want to lengthen it, if you want to take it down, you can continue working however you see fit. A little shading will be needed here because the face looks big and there needs to be a shadow here. I create a new layer by clicking on this button, the new layer button, and I press the Alt key and I take a color from here. Let's paint that color. I right click on the layer I just created. I'm going to create a clipping mask and I'm going to take it underneath this, and we can blend it with the background with the multiply option. If we lower the opacity a little bit, it will be like a shadow. I will not go into small details. As I said, this tutorial is not about the selection process, but we need to do a quick edit like this. Let's click on adjustment layer from the options here. When we hover over the brightness contrast option, we can continue editing the photo if we wish. You can get more different images by increasing the contrast like this. These are the operations after making the cartoon. Photoshop's Liquify feature is very effective in this type of work. In this tutorial, I showed how we can caricature a photo, a portrait photo using Photoshop's Liquify feature. That's it for this Photoshop tutorial. If today's video was useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click the subscribe button below this video. Thank you for watching.